All right, welcome to Soul Tales, episode 4, Black in the Day. Let's bring the fellas in. Where we at? No, there they go. Fellas, what's good? Come on off mute. We got E Rich, we got E from OT Show, Beers Bros Whiskey. Bros Beers Whiskey, I'm sorry. We got B Easy, we got CB. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Soul Tales, episode 4. Let's put it up again. Black in the Day. What's good with everybody? Seems like we're getting into a good rhythm with these. This is our Black History Month episode. So, how's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? What's going on?
Good, man. Ready,
Happy
ready
to be
chop
here.
it up.
There you go. Be
Facts.
easy. What's good, bro?
What it do, man? What it do? Thanks for having me.
And look, I'm glad everybody's back. So look, let's dive right in it, man. It's been it feels like obviously Black History Month goes like that. Like, you get in it, then you get out of it quick.
Shout out to the shortest month of the year. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. There's a lot happening this month, but kind of want to focus on a few things that February used to represent outside of Black History Month. For the sneakerheads, February used to be a big month, but we'll get there. Before that, CB, let's go ahead and lead off with a story that we talked about on the We Are Something Else podcast.
Yeah. So, one of the things that we've seen an uptick in is violence at some of these releases. And we know once the pandemic started, a lot of the live releases went away. But as COVID numbers have started to drop, a lot of those releases where people are going standing outside the store, they've come back, and unfortunately, between last year and this year, there's been some stories of violence. We had a man worked for Shoe Palace out there in Cali. He was trying to break up a fight at a release, ended up getting shot and lost his life. And it's one of those tragic stories where everyone that talked about him said, he was a light when he walked into the room. He was one of those dudes that everybody seemed to like. And,
Yep.
it's just one of those things. We want all of our people to just be safe out there. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, these are sneakers. These are material goods. Like, you can go and get another pair. You know what I mean? Like, if it really matters that much to you, like, you can find a way legally to get a pair. You don't need to be sticking somebody up. You don't need to be jumping off the porch just to get a pair of kicks. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I mean, it's sad, it's tragic, and it's one of those things where we just want everybody that is involved with all the podcasts that we do, all the various YouTube channels that we have. We just want everybody to be safe out there and keep things in perspective, because there are bigger things in life than sneakers. Literally living your life, like, you know what I mean? So I don't know if you guys had any thoughts. Just this month, February, we had a young lady stabbed outside of a Foot Locker release for some
Yep.
dunks.
And that was over like line position. Like it was over line position, and the guy who stabbed her is somebody she knew.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing, you know what I mean? Like, it it's just ridiculous. And you would think that maybe we would be past that kind of stuff because we hadn't had these everything's been online.
Right.
Even
Right.
pre-pandemic with sneakers app, confirmed app, being able to go on StockX, Goat, Flight Club online. Like, there's ways to get shoes without having to wait in a line
Right.
now. What releases aren't being done the same way, you know what I mean? And it's just unfortunate that we're still dealing with this, because I'm sure we've all got stories of seeing fights break out. Maybe not personally when you're in a line, but knowing of them happening back in the day. And it's just unfortunate that we're still dealing with this kind of stuff in 2022.
Like I remember making a joke comment on this platform about the Concord. I mean, the Cool Grays. And there was a fights.
Yep.
I saw fights all over the internet for people fighting over the shoes and trashing malls to get their opportunity to get the shoe. And I was like, man, the sneaker culture is back. Like, we taking over again. But this is not what you want to see. No one should lose their life over. At this point, you don't even have the shoe. Like you're losing your life over a raffle ticket or a position in line, an opportunity to get something that you don't have. And that's we can dive deeper than it's more than shoes at this point. It's the culture. Like, we as a society, the have-nots, I should say, because the rich can get whatever they want, right? But the have-nots, we're starving. We need something. There's no structure out here, and it's really like martial law. Every man for himself out here and doing what they got to do. Like, and no one's thinking about consequences. A guy should be able to go to work and hand out raffle tickets or handle a shoe sale or giveaway without thinking about losing his life.
But I'm mad at that. I thought we was done with like people lining up. I thought we just going to the raffle system anyway, so it shouldn't even been a line.
Right.
I think they were trying to bring it. They were trying to bring back some normalcy, but it's not working, bro.
Yeah,
Not
nah.
What?
It was a bad idea when we had it.
Right.
We just survived.
I think
go ahead, B.
I think the difference is when we was getting shoes in line, we were fighting to get shoes we could put on feet. Now there's a dollar sign and there's a profit on these shoes. So you're looking at, hey, I can buy a pair of dunks for 90, 100, and I can sell it for 200 or 300. So now they trying to risk it all, not just to put on feet. You got knuckled up for some Congoys because you want to wear them to school. Now they're going to stab and kill you because they want to sell the shoe to somebody like us.
It's the evolution. You're right. And real quick,
that's
I was going to say, I don't think the sneaker lines will ever go away, just for the simple fact that brick and mortar, like they're trying to save retail brick and mortar stores however they can. So, like, even if they get one size of each of the sneaker, I think they're going to try to keep pushing retail, just because I think that they have to. It's the whole the economy push, right? Somehow, one way or another, you got to just get sales up. But Bees, you bring a good point. The flip game, we all know that's what it is. It's a quick buck, $120 shoe that can flip easily for 15. Mm-hmm. And I was going to say that I don't think a Concord release, when the Concords mean more to our generation than it does to the youth wearing that, because they didn't see Jordan play. Exactly. Like, those shoes meant something. You when you saw Michael Jordan lace up the Concords and ball out in those, or any shoe that re-releases now with Mike's name associated, that he actually wore a signature line, we remember the playing days. Like, now it's just,
I do like how Dick's Sporting Goods do theirs. You got to go in and get a wristband, and then you go when the shoe come out. You got to get there like before 8:30 a.m. You got to go there early and get your shoes. So I like how that's going, but waiting in line, they gotta kill that, bro.
You gotta understand though that whole portion of that is it's an equal value of everything that you said and what Kaleo said, right? And what that means is brick and mortar, they have to have publicity, because if what are you getting if you don't have people coming into the store, right? So now you have a store that's literally just more or less a warehouse. You know what I mean? Like a flip shop where all they're doing is just holding the shoe for you to go in there and say, that's the one I want. And then, they go in the back or they call the seller and be like, yo, somebody here wants a shoe. We can sell, ship it to you. That's more or less, that's what's happening now compared to the old, like you said, the Foot Action, the Foot Lockers that we used to run up in to actually get the shoe that was actually there. You know what I mean? And the publicity of what you have to get from that, undefeated, kind of went away from that. But you got to think about location of where these actual shoes are dropping at, right? Yeah. You're talking about Union LAs are not in what everybody saw on Super Bowl Sunday. That's not where that's at. You know what I'm saying? They made, first of all, the shit they were showing was not LA. That was not LA. Like, they made people think like, oh shit, it's the beach, it's the pier, it's this. Before you even got to get to any of those, there's some streets that you got to go through that don't look like that. You know what I mean? But there's also, that's where the Flight Club, that's where the Union, LA store, that's where some of these other stores are located, because it was cheap brick and mortar. But guess what? They're gonna risk it all to come to this anyway. And what happened? The camera, the news reporters are already there before the line starts. Why? Because they know what's going to happen before it even happens. You know what I'm saying? And if nothing happen, it don't get shown on the news. It wasn't like they show, oh, the shoes came out, it was peaceful, the line just kind of moved along, everybody was doing single file. They don't report that shit.
They don't, but don't you think that's weird? Like we always see, like it be white people fighting over them shits too, though.
Yeah,
but we always see us though, so like yeah, it's the same thing. Like real talk, it's the same thing with police brutality, bro. Like white people get assaulted by the police too, but we always see black people, dog.
Right.
Yeah, it's like they market that shit to us.
Exactly. It's what they sell on the news.
Yeah,
they do. Yeah.
And then with as far as the Foot Locker story, see the young lady got stabbed by somebody she knows. Like I saw that on TMZ, and it's again at the end of the day, like these are the things that ruin the sneaker culture, right? Like I was just thinking to myself, there was nothing like, even though we talk about how he hated lines, but there was nothing like experiencing that at a young age. Like sneaker release Saturday.
Yeah,
like being in on the retail side of it. I mean, you're the manager. You got to get your staff. Everybody, you know, I used to see managers bringing food for their staff because they knew it was going to be a long morning. They go in and they do their prep, their setup, their little powwow. How are they going to get through this day, right? That's how on the retail side it works. But then as a person standing in line, like, yeah, you dapping up people talking in line,
right?
You know, about upcoming shoes that's getting ready to come out or what you got last time, or yeah, I got to connect on the inside. That's gonna hold me a shoe. Or they on the phone talking to their friend that's across town at the other line, letting them know, yeah, this line ain't that long. It looked like I might get a size. Like that. The whole experience is something that, granted, now that we're older, we're like, damn, we did that. Like at a young age, 14.
I didn't
15,
have the connect that Rich did. You know what I mean?
Right, 14, 15, we stand outside by ourselves. Like I used to get my grandfather or my dad would just drop me off, come back in about an hour and a half, and just come get me. And the fact that we didn't have to think about shit like that, and now you have to think about pumping gas these days.
No, I don't pump gas at a certain time, bro.
It's crazy.
I don't pump gas at certain locations.
That's
exactly.
Bro, hey, look, I'll just run out of gas, bro. I'm not stopping, bro.
Nope.
I think that, like you said, but we talked, like you said, we talked about it before as far as I think that was the question, right? Like, which do you prefer? Do you prefer the old school, the line, the internet way, or the raffle? And, clearly you and I have a story as far as where we went, and you know what I'm saying? You got the dub, I didn't. And it was nothing out there. We was all the way in Delaware. For me, it wasn't even the line experience. For me, it used to be going to the mall that you thought that nobody else really knew about to go try to cop your shoe, knowing that it's probably in the white neighborhood and they probably only have something, but then you come to find out they in line too. But you looking at them like, I don't have no clue of what's happening. Y'all just in line because we saw, because y'all seen it on the news and try to figure out why it's the line set up. And then you trying to get, good with, let me not say that's Black History Month, with the person that worked at the good mall that had a certain type of skin, and you would just be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You always had that one friend that had to put it down, that had to be the wingman, just so you can get that connect. So you get that. But that was the portion of us as sneakerheads, right? Was like the whole it was the strategy of how to get
exactly.
The shoe. Even if you didn't get the shoe, the story behind what you did and where you went and how you was, 5 deep and everybody chipped in $5 for gas to go to the location, that was what you remember. And even the shoe itself had a story, but like you said, we made it popular though. Everything that these kids is on is what we made popular. And they ain't got not their story to back up why they wearing or what they did to get the shoe.
Exactly. Nobody cares about the camaraderie, right? Like I said, getting up at 4 a.m. So we got to be in Delaware by 7 because the mall opened up at 9.
Right.
Like, damn, you planned your. Like, I barely got any sleep that night. Like,
bro. I just went through that. I just went through that last Saturday, bro.
I mean, the last time I was in a line pre-pandemic, I had already won a raffle. So it was one of those things where you had to show up to the store, you had to be there by a certain time to
Right.
guarantee that you were going to get your pair. Otherwise, it was going to go back into circulation and the shop was, going to sell it, to whatever pairs were left. And so everyone that was in line outside of these two kids that had beach chairs that looked like they would have been cousins on my dad's side, they were there to pick up other joints. Like they were not there for the raffle that everyone else had gotten the email for that was in line. But what was cool about it was like, you know, everyone's wearing heat in line because it's like and
Of
people are
course.
you're just
Flex
chopping it
zone.
up. You're chopping it up and end up befriending another Asian brethren who was right in front of me, and he's like, yo, because I was wearing my Gundam 98s, and he's like, yo, I've been trying to get a pair of those. How did you cop those? And I was like, dude, I got a good price on them. Like, I don't know what to tell you because they jumped up astronomically. I didn't know people were checking for 98s like that. But
Yep.
it's one of those things where me and this dude, we became friends like on Instagram, and we check in with each other every once in a while just to be like, yo, you cop anything recently? Like, oh, I got this. Oh, I'm plotting on this. And we don't really have that anymore. You know what I mean? Like
No.
but that was one of the things that was dope back in the day, because you're literally befriending people in other states sometimes that you're never going to see ever again. This is before social media. But you had this one thing that was bringing you together, and it puts a damper on it when you have violence mixed in with all this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like shout out to my spot in Williamsburg, man. Finish line in Williamsburg outlet. Oh, money. That joint is money. I'm guaranteed hey, I found the Tinker joint there, dog. Like off some
Jeez.
rant, dog. I found the Tinker joints there like a year later. It was just there by
That's
itself. I don't know if they was just sitting there. All right.
That's crazy. I mean, and it's so funny, like different zones have different stock of shoes, right? Like, damn, they got these out here, but then like I remember just like trying to outthink the system. Like nobody's gonna go to this mall right here. Nobody going to the damn mall out in Dundalk.
Nope.
Yeah, right.
It's a dude just like you traveling.
Exactly. But I mean, again, it's sad that things that we could, reminisce about and having good experiences about has come to the stories that CB just talked about.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
hopefully, I mean, things are changing. But hopefully, maybe we'll get back to that one day. Maybe we won't. But speaking of Black in the Day, this kind of leads us into the conversation for tonight. As we're coming up on the end of Black History Month, and try to figure out how we incorporate sneakers and Black History Month. Then obviously it became so obvious. Let's start with this. I tried to Google the first Black athlete to have a signature shoe. Because this is good history. This is things you need to know. I mean, even though since Dr. J did wear the Converse, the Chuck Taylor, that was not his shoe. Obviously, we know that Chuck Taylor was modeled after somebody else. So one of the consistent answers that kept coming back was
Clyde
Frazier.
Yeah, he was the OG.
Was the first African American athlete to have his own signature shoe, the Clyde Puma.
That was a cold ass picture too, yeah.
No, that's
yeah.
Clyde was cold with it,
he's
man.
Still
that nigga was cold with it, boy. Damn, some yacht came with that hat, boy. Damn.
Exactly. But yeah, the Puma, like in this colorway in this shoe. One, we don't wear it as a basketball shoe anymore. It's more of just a classic silhouette kind of thing with some khakis you rock. But they used to play ball in these. But this is what came back. The Clyde Puma is one of the first, if not the first signature shoe going to an athlete, an African American athlete. So, you guys own a pair of Clydes?
I definitely got some too. I got some black ones.
Yep.
The black suede joints.
I mean, they look so much like the Puma suedes, and I got a
It's
few pairs of those, but
very close. I mean, it's
yeah.
not. It's probably not. It's probably the same shoe. And I think
You
the
know what I
difference
mean?
is the Clydes have the signature, the gold Clyde signature on it. Same
Mhm.
shoe.
Yeah,
It's just the
Right.
addition.
but the
B, you
fat
got a
laces
pair?
when you put the fat lace, got to put the fat laces in them, son.
Yeah, absolutely. B, you got you a pair of Clydes?
No, I do not. I don't have a pair.
E, I know you got a pair. E.
Nah, see, the reason, like I said, you got to remember that these was definitely not on the charts out here, and what you see is a colorway, right? If they weren't, like I said, if it wasn't black, listen, understand, like you was already knowing based upon either shoestrings or shoe color, and again, for us out here, everything was back in the day was Chucks, shell toes, or again, you know what I mean,
Cortez.
Nah,
Cortez.
only Mexicans wear Cortezes, but if you just,
I feel
just,
like people
I'm
could
being,
skate in those joints,
I'm
though.
just,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
being completely honest. It's not, you are not going to see no bros like straight up in Cortez. If they do, then like they definitely didn't grow up around us. They was probably more in the Mexican hood. But again, that's and that's the crazy thing about this, right? Because like when you look at these, or I think we talked about it before, right? The different regions and what their shoe was, right? I don't think Pumas was like a really big thing out here, because then it became more of, what was sustainable as far as what you can get. You know what I'm saying? For us, the Slauson Mall was, the swap meet was it. If you can get it wherever it was, no matter what it
Yo,
was, that's what you had to
Puma
pick
was
up.
big in New York too. Like
Yep.
New York dude, yeah, a lot of New
Yep.
York cats wore Pumas, bro.
Yep.
Especially back in the day, in the 80s.
Didn't Clyde play for the Knicks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense though.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
Puma wouldn't have gotten big out in Cali until Nip got his deal with them. Like
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can almost, I might agree with you.
No, I mean definitely that, and you got to remember that the crazy enough, the biggest shoe out here is definitely more of the Vans, right? The skater shoe, right?
Mhm.
Because we've been popping that off, like that's our number one shoe, based upon you can find our little pockets of Van spots in different cities that have different collaborations that's been happening way back when. You know what I'm saying? Like I think
Mhm.
Nigel just even got through releasing like a little overnight thing that nobody knew about until like the last minute. You know what I mean? But that's what I said. The culture of knowing that, like, I think would be dope is to find out the different locations, like from Clyde from New York, who from Cali, maybe basketball star had their first shoe, because then you can see that the probably the profile or the silhouette of it had to probably do something from where they from. You know what I mean?
True. All right. So, what does February represent? We said Black History Month, and it used to be one of the biggest months for shoes, because February represents, we get the All Stars. We used to get the All Star releases, and if you're a big player, a big market player for Nike or Reebok, because Reebok used to have some dope All Star releases, but then it became more of a Nike thing. You had the big four. You had the Cavalry. You had LeBron. You had
Adidas
KD.
had some sneaky joints in there too.
Who?
Adidas had some sneaky joints in there too.
Adidas did. KD and then Kobe. Like those were your big pushes for All Star releases, right? And everybody used to love the All Star release because you would get before the colorway. Phone's talking to you. Before you get before the colorway game picked up, where you can wear any kind of crazy colorway with your uniform. This is when you got the big super colorway releases for All Star Weekend, right? See all kind of crazy shoes, but then also almost a week right afterwards, you get the Black History Month releases. Same big four, but then also Adidas had a couple Black History Month runs. I don't know if Reebok ever got into the Black History Month run, but definitely Nike for sure. And these were the colorways where you get more of a solid color, but then you'd have like some crazy like pattern printed, colorways, color scheme throughout the shoe. Almost like a kente cloth kind of thing, but it's a tribute to Black History Month. And it feels like it's been at least 3 or 4 years since we've had a big run of Black History Month releases. So my question is like what happened to it? Like, did you guys even notice that Black History Month releases had kind of dwindled down?
I definitely noticed. Because I used to look for it every year, like especially around this time. But like I say, like you said, I noticed like the last couple of years, I didn't really see that many, if any. So I don't. I want to say like the last release I probably saw was like 2019.
Got you.
Pre-pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I think is, man, they selling so many shoes online. They don't have to feed us a Black History Month shoe. They're gonna sell regardless. So they're like, here, you got the my mama years. They tell a story. We giving you something all through the year now, but we still should have got something for Black History
Yeah.
Month. We
Right.
got something, but it wasn't no heat.
And I'm wondering if the before you go, I'm wondering, this is something to think about when you guys get your answer. If the low, like if KDs don't sell like they used to, if Kyrie's don't sell like they used to, so and that kind of dwindles two out of them out, then Kobe, passing away and his shoe being kind of in limbo, what they're gonna do with that. So Bron kind of being like the only major seller out of those. I mean, his shoe is probably one that looks decent out of KD and Kyrie's these days. So I'm wondering if that had a lot to do with it too. But go ahead, E, my bad.
No, you good. I was just gonna say, like, it's funny that B brought that up the way he did, because it almost makes sense what he said on the marketing, and I say it makes sense on their side of the house, right? Because if we're getting those throughout the year, what you don't get throughout the year is the shout out to the first people that were here, the Native Americans, you dig? That the N7s, right? They have their block when they bring those out, and it's not throughout the year, right? The Puerto Rican ones usually, or the silhouettes of either the 90s, the 95s, whatever it is, it's that short time. It's not throughout the year.
Yeah, and I just thought about something. You know what they're probably gonna do? I didn't even think about this. Juneteenth. They probably switch it over for that.
That is a
kind of
holiday
makes
this
sense
year.
though. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that kind of makes sense. They might just do it around that time.
Right, but then coming to what Kaleo said, like on a marketing side, when you have a KD shoe that's trash, you know what I'm saying, a Kyrie shoe that's definitely trash, even a PG that's definitely trash, right?
Nah, the next PG look.
The new ones is getting
the new joint. The new joint just got hot. I ain't gonna hold
I
you
like
though,
those.
As a whole, he has only two good shoes, and he's on number.
His first one was a fire.
Yeah,
And these last ones coming out.
Yeah,
But all these
zipper,
joints in between, like he's saying,
the ones with the zipper reminded me of the worms. Those were dope. But
those are alright, yeah. But other than that, those three, that's it.
Yeah. But I think what it comes down to in the grand scheme of things, like you said, it's one, it would have been an easier way for them to kind of pick up the sales for these shoes, or at least kind of give people like the sneakerheads like us a little motivation that what's to come. Because again, we get that from Jordan. We see what the releases are from Jordan throughout the whole season, right? We see it now. They may push it back, but we see it. We don't get you get it with the LeBrons, but you don't get it with the PGs. You don't get it with the Kyries and the KDs like that. Those three brands could benefit off of the Black History Month, kind of silhouettes, because it gives you that notion of, if nothing else, these first 2 months was trash. Definitely these ones that come out in Black History, should be the ones that be like, if nothing else, I'm gonna cop those. You know what I mean? Like, because the rest of them silhouettes could be garbage. But that one, we always knew that for some reason the Black History Month almost brought automatic heat compared to what if the rest of the year was trash.
And what's kind of crazy is that this year, like we already addressed, there wasn't really any Black History Month heat to talk about at all. But they just announced all the Dornbecker joints that are coming out, and they expanded the line. You know what I mean? So it's not just Jordans. There's a bunch of different models that we're getting involved with that, and it also felt like towards like pre-pandemic, when they were still doing the Black History Month stuff, that it was getting lazy. Like I remember seeing the silhouettes, and it's just black and white colorways. No, no African weave, no kente cloth, like nothing like that. And it's like, yo, well, anyone can get a black and white shoe anywhere, and you still got to do something to make it desirable for people to actually cop. And we're used to February being that month where we know that there's heat to look forward to.
Yep.
And this year, just talking about the modern day, it was like, all right, well, what were some of the all-star shoes coming out, which the dopest joints were re-releases as far as I was concerned. And then it was looking
the dopest one to me all-star weekend was the fucking Rick and Morty joints, bro. He killed them, yo. Like he had the best one out of everybody.
Yep.
And then, it's literally the Dornbecker release. They were like, yo, we're gonna do the announcement, and they, you can go on Twitter right now and look at the lineup, and it's pretty dope. We always look forward to that stuff because the cause is great, but it's almost like that replaced what we were used to seeing. You know what I mean?
Right. And to me, I don't know if Nike changed marketing departments or managers or whatever over the past years, because one, and I think I've ranted about this before. When you talk about top NBA players currently in the league, right? It's always kind of the same two, and it's always the same two picking their all-star teams, right? This year, again, LeBron and KD picking their all-star teams. LeBron, his signature shoe it may have dwindled once, but they came back, and his signature line is still dope. Colorways, Space Jam versions, all this and all that. But for KD to be the man or the second best player or the best player in the league right now, his shoe is pure trash.
But don't they fit his personality though?
That was a very good point. I'm glad you said that.
Makes sense, yeah.
It follows the type of person he is. Like, he don't give a fuck about his shoe. He don't give a fuck about anything. He just want a ball.
He's also been hurt. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things, like, even we talk about Kyrie. Kyrie hasn't been playing. So we think about when LeBron is always, like, for the most part, he's always playing. So there's always going to be shoes on his feet that we can see. And if he's going to have a PE that he's playing in, it's like, oh, like, that's crazy, For these other dudes that are supposed to be the marquee players in the game, if they're not actually on the court, who's checking for what they're wearing? Because they're the ones that are supposed to be bringing out the exclusives that no one else is going to wear. You know what I mean? Like, what's hot right now is literally all the dudes are wearing Kobe's. They're all wearing Protros. You know what those aren't their shoes.
They're Protros from, because
I mean, guys like Book and DeMar, they've got access to the vault like that. It's just different for those guys.
Hey, E. Rich, man, I need you to put in a call to the Lakers, man. We need to get AD to stop wearing them damn Kobe's, yo. First of all, you are a big man, sir. You shouldn't be wearing Kobe, sir.
Damn,
yeah, you playing center and power forward. You jumping up and down every time down the floor. You getting rebounds, bro. Get some high tops, son.
He didn't get them old David Robinson forces. He needed those.
Yeah, come on, bro. You wrote down that ankle roll was ridiculous, bro. Yo, if you had at least had some high top joints on, it would have been that bad. Yo, that joint, it's like his ankle like a noodle, bro. Like, that joint was terrible, son.
See, that's for another podcast that you and I can talk about. It's like bullshit, bro.
Yeah, what I think, man, between LeBron and everybody else, LeBron is a brand like Jordan is a brand.
Yeah,
I can see he's signing other people. These other guys, they just have a shoe. They don't care about the design. They like, it's the KDs, and put them out there for the little kids, because we're not buying them. Let's be real. Like the high schoolers, the middle schoolers, elementary schoolers, they're buying them. We're buying them for them because they're going to outgrow them and dirty them up. But we're not.
Suburban kids, they definitely buying the Currys though, yeah.
Oh, no.
Suburban kids.
Yep.
Yeah, they fool with the Currys, man. I know
the whole basketball, every basketball team, they have them on.
He's single-handedly keeping Under Armour in the game.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
He's
he definitely is. And he came out with a pair of museum.
Yeah, he got a museum joints.
Yeah. Them
joints are kind of hard too. They got a whole outfit too.
But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when you think about like KD, like now how far the shoe was falling off, like it's horrible. But like when you think about KD, you knew you were gonna get the PG counties or something,
Or the pearl,
tribute
yeah.
on,
the
or
cherry
the
blossom
pearls.
joints.
Yeah, like anything, like you get the tribute to PG County somewhere in there, and then you get the pearls. Like those were huge releases for KD. Then the All-Star shoe, like those were
Those were the 3 biggest ones.
and then just like if it fell off, the Nike used to give us all of these, and it's outside of February, we knew we could look for the Christmas releases, Christmas Day releases, you know, because NBA on Christmas is huge, and it's definitely not the same. But I asked you guys to just to give me a Black History Month shoe that that you kind of remembered, was near and dear to you, whatever. We can just reminisce on what we used to get, and I'll lead it off. So we talked about Kyrie, like this is an example of it's a basic colorway, but the design for it, I mean, it was a big release. These sold out that year that they came out. These were the Cavalry Threes, and I didn't get my hands on them. I wanted them; they were dope, and I think the shoes that it was lined up against that year, the other three, was just a dope year for Black History Month. You guys remember those?
Yeah.
And I think the price points were
like
fairly
100.
simple. Yeah,
it was
were
like
fairly
110 or something like that.
Yeah, 110. Yeah.
And then and I knew the LeBron. To me, I looked at the LeBron. His Black History Month, he had like one or two, but
his best joints were the like equality joints, like were those the 17s?
Yeah, I remember them joints.
I like those.
Yeah. Those was tough. That's with the fly net and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, like the battle net or whatever he was calling it.
Yeah.
And then
so here's was hard too.
The Kyrie 2s right here. Black History Month.
Those are my favorite Kyries out of all of them.
Yeah. Yep. Hard to get. But again, this what we used to get right here, man. It's dope. CB, you brought up a good one.
Oh, I forgot about them joints. Yeah, dang.
2012 was a great year for Black History Month shoes.
That silhouette alone was big for KD. Like, how do we get from that to where we are today?
It's the KD4 is arguably his best silhouette ever, as far as I'm concerned. My favorite KD is it's the 7 amp pearls, like the ones with the wings where they turn the strap into the wings. Those are my favorite of all time. Not as hyped as some of the other joints, but the KD4, that model, probably his best. Used to ball in there was an Oklahoma City Thunder colorway. There's still a court in Arlington that I feel like my name is engraved in that joint because we were running that. But this specific Black History Month colorway was fire, and that 2012. Go back and check all the joints that released that year, the Kobe's that released that year, the LeBrons that released that year. Yep. 2012 was a moment as far as that goes. And the KD4s, these are one of the, I want to say, I think Sneaker News did a like a top 35 KDs of all time, like in 2014. So this is still like some time ago, but this was one of the joints that made the list. And I mean, you can see why they have the African weave pattern on there, and it's combined with the fact that it's one of KD's best shoes that he's ever had. Like that's a recipe for success.
Are y'all a fan of the Velcro strap?
I mean,
hey, look, man, I'm a sucker for a strap, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, yo. Yep. I'm a sucker for straps, dog. That's why I love the 8 so much, yo. The crisscross straps, yeah. I love the sucker. The air raids,
bro. I mean, for Be Easy, when Jerry Lorenzo did his version of the raids with the Fear of God joints, I had to cop those because the initial air raids were awesome. And shout out to Nike for re-releasing those over the last couple of years. But when Jerry was like, "Yo, I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna Fear of God these joints," like, dude, that you knew I was gonna be getting me a pair of those because
those are hard.
Yeah, when it comes to the strap joints, like I'm usually in with that. Like if I ever had my own signature shoe, you better believe it would have a strap on there. Like it
Oh,
just
yeah.
would.
No, I ain't gonna hold you. Hey, if I ever did a collab with a shoe or something like that, I would definitely have strap on my joint. I just put it out of nowhere. It wouldn't even make sense. I just have it on there for no reason, bro.
Do you remember the Michael Jackson LA Gears?
Hell
Nothing
yeah.
but straps all over.
Straps galore, dog.
Buckles and everything.
Which leads me to my shoe. It had a strap on it.
I like those.
There you go,
Hey,
E.
dog.
So
Hey,
what
look, the Just Don and Jordan collaboration, and he did it for like a charity, right?
Mhm.
And he did it in yeah, so he did it for charity. I think they only did like maybe 100 pair, maybe if that. And Just Don, I mean, Don C killed them, bro. Like
look at the
the
detail.
detail on them joints is
Yeah.
ridiculous, bro. Like the strap is like it's like a gator strap or something like that,
Yep.
and it's man, and then it's the quality of it though. It's a quality shoe though. That's an expensive ass shoe. It's real leather.
Definitely.
Is that, hold on, wait a minute. Is that a mid?
No,
Nah,
that's
come
a high.
on, man.
Oh, that's a
It's
high.
high,
I'm
it's
just asking.
I don't know. I
Man,
see that. I see that Jumpman. I see that Jumpman joint up there though. That might be a mag.
That's definitely
See,
you can
See,
tell
see,
that is
see,
not
see.
a mid.
No,
See
it's
the
not
shit,
a
hell.
mid.
you see
though.
the shit.
I
Okay.
wish
Yeah,
I
like,
wish it
see,
was a
this is
mid
the
so I
shit
can
I'm
prove these
talking
jokers wrong, son. But nah, and that was one of the ones that he combined the Air Force Ones with the that was one of the better ones. Cause remember when they tried to do it back in the day with the Jordan, it did not go good. It was
Nah, that was
terrible.
horrible.
That was horrible, but that is one of the good ones though.
Shout out to Don C always
Yeah.
tries fusing different models together. He did like what the 312s, and I mean he shout out to him for always being creative
Yo,
from that
hold,
standpoint.
that's another sleeper joint. I
That
love
was
the
a-
312s, bro.
12s.
I
He just
love the
got a
312s.
deal with the Bulls, right? To
Yep.
do collab with the jerseys for them, right?
Yeah, and he
Crazy.
got I think he got his clothing line in Foot Locker now too.
Yeah, he got a. I think he got a clothing line in is it City Gear or is it Foot Locker? It's one of them.
Yeah,
It looked like something
yeah.
from DC when you look at it though. It looked like somebody from
It
like
do.
Hobo or somebody made
It
it.
do, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny you
Okay,
said it
he
because I was
sold
just
that
thinking
piece.
I was thinking the same thing when I saw it, bro.
Yeah, that's definitely a shooter's. But
I don't think it's a collab. I think he's actually got the position as far as the creative, like
Oh wow.
as
Like
far
the
as
creative
doing the
director joint.
yeah, for the actual, like, you know, the actual fits, like everything from the jerseys to like the warm-ups to everything like that, because it's
that's that
already
Kanye.
yeah, I mean, it's already a Jordan connect anyway, because Jordan doing it for the NBA, so he's just stepping into it for
And-
Chicago.
And speaking of
That's
Don
fire.
C, man, bro, look, watching the Kanye documentary and just seeing Don C in the background and seeing how all this stuff comes together, bro, that
Right.
shit is phenomenal, bro.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like I listened to College Dropout today just cause, like, dog,
That it's back in the Billboard
I believe it, cause
yeah.
now you it's like seeing how the magic was made, bro. Like you see how it was magic, and you see how it was made now, yo.
Bro, his tree is crazy. His barber, Ivan Jasper, his
Yeah.
Louis Vuitton shoes go for like 30 grand. And the bro was his barber. So basically, if you knew Kanye back then, you on.
Yeah, no,
You could
Steven
cut his
Victor,
grass and have
No,
a
it's-
and have it just
bro. It's so many people that's and what's her name? He's the same way. You think about Pharrell and like
Yeah.
Nike, Nigo, whatever, dog, all the people involved, Steven Victor, all the dudes with Human Made and everything, bro. It's ridiculous, man.
Yep.
And Virgil, yo,
Yep.
they all come from like the same tree, bro.
it's crazy, bro. How Kanye changed the game. And everybody hate him, but he changed the game.
Nah, that's a fact.
But we spoke on that last just a little bit off air. Then I don't think E's watched it yet. Are y'all caught up on it? Y'all watched both episodes? Everybody?
Yeah.
I
else?
am.
I watched both
Yeah.
episodes, yeah.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, man. It's like really, really dope. Just the mindset of recording this 20 years ago.
Yo, he recorded before he even had the deal.
Right.
Shout out to Cootie, man.
Cootie,
Yeah,
who
Cootie-
had his
Cootie
own
was a
career.
G.
My man had his own career and gave it up off the
Yeah.
idea of where Ye could go.
And I
That's
told
crazy.
Kaleo, I told you and E Rich last night that after watching the second episode, it was going to make me go back and watch Hip Hop Evolution. And so I went back and I watched like 3 episodes last night before I went to bed. And the super producers episode where Kanye's part of that. Cootie is one of the dudes that's talking. Like, he's one of the guys that sits down, and I totally forgot that he was also involved, like, in that. And I was like, yo, man, shout out to him, man.
I'm to put on, what was it, Deron Davis?
D-Ray.
The comedian? D-Ray?
Oh yeah,
D-Ray,
D-Ray, yeah, exactly.
Bro was in the, I didn't know he did the voice.
I thought it was Bernie Mac
Bernie
this
Mac
whole
doing
time.
Bernie Mac.
Right. This entire time thought it was Bernie.
The
I
whole
never
time
knew
I
D-Ray
definitely thought it was
even
Bernie.
did voices like that. He don't do that like stand up. So for him to do that and just be in the video and we didn't know who he was, that's crazy,
Crazy
bro.
shit is Jamie Foxx a while back told the story of how slow jams came to be. And this app, and if you see,
And it was true though. Yeah, you
He
know,
told
you
the
like,
world
man,
for
Jamie,
what?
that shit ain't true, bro. We're like, all right, whatever, Jamie. Yo, but they really did the joint in his studio though.
In
son.
his house, yo. That's crazy. And his studio is crazy.
Yeah.
But look, you see Breon in there. I had never, you didn't realize how much Breon was in the background because everybody remembers Breon from the Teddy Riley versus Babyface.
Yeah.
Versus and Breon was all the one dancing and all up in the videos.
I see a lot of Consequence too, bro. He in every background.
Yeah, he was
Okay,
in the background.
Consequence, Ron Fest, all of them were back then. But real quick, so Jamie Foxx, when he tells the story to Fallon, he's like, Kanye I invited Kanye over my house to a party. And we're at the party, just talking with him. He comes to me and says, look, I got a song I want you to sing on with. And he's like, all right, well, we can go back to my studio. Goes back in the studio and he tells him what he wants to sing. He's like, okay. Then he was like, they left the studio. They didn't think about it, anything else about it. And then he was talking to his man. He's like, yeah, that, I probably won't ever hear from him again. He said something about a trash ass song I was singing. And then he said a couple months later, came back and said, hey, you know that song that you did with that dude Kanye? Yeah, it's number one now. He's like, what?
Yeah, now we need you to shoot the video for it.
Yeah.
Amazing, man.
What was your Black History Month? You had, there you go.
Ooh, yeah. Classic.
Ooh,
Can't go wrong with that.
Nah. Speaks for itself.
Yeah. I mean that part, and it was the if you will, I'll say that these are the ones that
those were in the same pack. I think those were the same release.
They were. Yeah. And really, if you would have put up the one that also came out, that same one was the KD's Black History Month. Those were fire with that pattern that they had on the front part of the toe on the shoe. But these are ones that AD needs to wear on a regular basis.
Yes.
The 9 Elite is my favorite Kobe of all time.
Yeah, he needs to holler at what's my man De'Aaron Fox, who got all the damn 9s. You know what I'm saying? But
him and
John. I love the Bruce Lee joints too.
Yeah. So these were again, my story with this, other than being in the city and all that good stuff, is that I had tore my Achilles the same year Kobe did. These were the joints that was kind of like that next year when he started doing the little stitching on the back of the heel. When you do that, but ultimately everything from the fly net, that's all the way through this shoe. It's hella light. It's still dope to wear. Like, I don't want to wear them just so I don't mess them up, because I feel like these are almost a holy grails of the Kobe's based upon.
You'll never get for some reason they'll probably never retro these. So if you got a pair of these,
you got to put these up. You know what I'm saying?
Put them on ice.
But yeah, I mean, just a dope shoe. I remember copping these. And my it just seemed like I didn't even see nothing else. Like, I was like, if I don't cop nothing else for the rest of this year, it's these damn Kobe's. And I remember knowing that I think this price point was like, they were $2 something off.
They were
like
$2 for sure.
They were like, I think they were $225, and I was like, I didn't even blink. I was just like, so, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a cop them anyway. And the funny part about it, I really have not seen too many people with these. That's the crazy part. I have not, even if they just putting them on ice, nobody's really been like, I got these. Nobody's really worn these in the NBA. I don't even know if it was that much of, they just really was just on some true fans only cop these joints. Because I think, like you said, you had to pick. The KD's was hard, the Kyrie's was hard, and then the Kobe's. You had to, because you wasn't going to get all three. So you had to pick one to just stay with it for that year.
Yep.
So,
I got a pair. I'm actually. You see me looking around. I was looking to see where mine were at. I think mine are buried behind somewhere. But yeah, it said super dope shoe. Oh, you on mute?
Nah, I was saying I
There you go.
regret, man. I had a chance to cop them joints, bro, and I just did not bullshit around, didn't do it, bro.
Don't you hate that? That's the part you're like.
I kick myself in the ass to this day, bro.
So it's not the Black History Month ones, but the Christmas Day joints, the red and black 908s that's one of my favorites of all time, and I've been plotting on those for a long time. And I think I told this story on our podcast, like this could have been a year ago at this point, but I went to the gym one day and I'd been plotting on these. Like, I'm like, yo, it doesn't matter what the resale is. I'm going to end up making this purchase. And when I was living in Falls Church, the gym that I was going to, if you went during the post-work rush, it was almost like it was a fashion show in there. Like, people were bringing sneakers out, and that made me feel good because I was like, yo, there's going to be people in here that appreciate what I'm doing in here. They're going to be like, yo, this little dude, he's kind of strong and his sneakers are good. But I got on the Stairmaster to warm up, and the dude next to me had the Christmas joints on, and I was like, well, fuck, I can't buy these and wear them here because they're gonna think that I'm swagger jacking this dude when it has nothing to do with this guy, but he just blew my entire spot up because he had them on, and I was like, damn it, man, like,
just gotta wear him to another gym. Don't wear him.
Yeah. Well, now I'm in Maryland again, so it's different, like,
It's funny. Be easy, man. You had
This is not. I'm doing it E-Rich. I am doing it E-Rich. This is what they're giving us now. That is a Nike ID. One, if you did purchase this, you're gonna get it for 4 months from now.
Yeah, no bull.
Right.
Two,
the summer.
They just showed you all those beautiful designs, and they decided to give us. Just put some yellow piping somewhere. Give them some red there. Give them some green. And ship it out to them and tell them be quiet. You should have got the Armand years. This is what we're getting right here. That is.
It's like no life in them joints, though, son.
It's 3 of them, but you could have made that anyway because it's a Nike ID.
That's lazy.
I could have made that last month. I could make that next month.
Yeah.
I still wouldn't make that shoe ever, but
that's pretty bad.
That's what they're giving us. This is my E-Rich version. That shoe sucks. All the Black History Month sucks this year. They already look. I'm telling you, they already getting our dollars. So they're like, "Hey, here, I gave you something." It's like giving somebody one gift for Christmas just so they can say, "I gave you something." And that's what we got. So there's no story to that. Nobody's ever going to pick that shoe 10 years from now and say, I remember back in 2022 when they had a Nike ID, I saw some Air Force Ones, and they gave us black, green, and yellow. And to this day, I was in the gym, and somebody had them on. We're not going to ever get that story. I'm never going to buy them. I don't understand what's going on, but I'm going to transition it to some African-American people don't want to put all of the African patterns on shoes. They feel like, why you got to give us African pattern? Why you got to give us black, red, and green every year? Some people don't want an African-American History Month because they feel like every month is African-American History Month. But I still would like a shoe that's better than that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
You gave it. It's still Black History Month, right?
Yeah,
Give me a nice shoe.
Yeah, shoe. That's what
you could have got a black person to design it for you. You could have waited and pushed out the Armand years. You could have did the Armand years. I mean, come on. You could have literally put out the Armand years and waited till February to pass them out, and boom, that's marketing. But this right here, they don't need to market to it. They're like Republicans now. They don't have to cater Because they're not gonna get our Democrats they're gonna get our vote.
I don't know, man. Hey, look, I'm about to blow this shit up, bro.
They
I'm
don't
just trying
care,
to
bro.
I'm on the verge. Hey,
They
I don't
don't
know,
care.
bro. Hey,
They're going to get your money anyway. They're going to get your vote. They are the Democrats of shoemaking right now.
shout out
They
to
got
Big
rid
P,
of
man.
they got rid of all the good designers. They all went to Adidas. They're not giving us
you're right.
anything hot that's
You're right. They
new
all went to
because we're
Adidas.
going
Yeah, they
to buy
definitely
it anyway.
Adidas and Puma.
It's also funny because those are basically black forces, and we know what that means. You know what I mean?
Yo, them dresses come with a hoodie. They
Right.
A
They
hoodie and
definitely
a
come.
shank. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And the
The
ski
That's
same
mask.
person-
lazy.
The same
Lazy
person
stuff.
who designed the Drake shoe designed these shits.
Yo.
Between that,
don't get me
that,
started. Hey, look, did somebody say Drake? Did somebody say Drake?
I can
other
see
than the
Drake
hoodie-
putting black, green, and yellow on that shoe and make it a Black History Month shoe. It was the same thing.
And throw an owl on that bitch.
The owl would at least make it hot. You know what I mean?
Right.
That
At
shoe is
least
horrible. I don't want it.
That's it's funny though, because you bring that up. Like even with the ID, CB and I have had this conversation on the Air Max 1 side of the house, right? Is you notice that they've also given us the different colorways or what colors you can use on Nike ID. So
Right.
even if
don't want you to outdo.
listen, right? Because that's the thing, right? Because it used to be like make your shoe and then it would post, right? And you would see it and you'd be like, damn, that's a hard shoe. And then you'd be like, all right, let me take a little bit of that
Nobody
and I'm gonna
got
create
these
my own.
shits.
Nobody now, it's just like they don't even want you to come out with because they
too
either
generic,
fear
man.
somebody's design is going to be hotter than what some trash that they already got, ready to roll out.
Yep.
But then again, it's also when that did happen. I don't know if you had so Kaleo remembers this story. This was right after, so all of y'all remember when the Red Octobers came out, Nike did a whole just flock of everything was red. Like every shoe, everybody who had a shoe came out in all red, right?
All red.
But then when the Grinches came out, and it was the Grinch time, and it was right when the Bad Apples came out for KDs, right? So you had the black, that neon kind of green, and you had that red. I sent Kaleo a shoe that I did on Nike ID that had that same colorway. And when I told them I tried to go back on there and print that shit, they would not let me do it. Just that, like they won't let you. They was not letting you come out with a harder shoe than what they was putting out because of the colors that they gave
It might be something to that because I designed a shoe for my mother. It was some Air Max joints. Dog, I tried to buy them joints I want to say like the next day or something. I couldn't get them no more, bro. Nope. And I swear I killed the design on them joints too. So I like pat myself on the back. Though I killed them joints. Yo.
Kaleo remembers this.
I couldn't get them joints though. Yeah, the next day I tried to get. I did the
color
same exact
pink
design.
sold out.
You trying to say it was sold out? Yeah.
You can't pair these
sold out. I have an ID though.
It's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Like because for my birthday, 2-3 years ago, I designed a pair of Air Max 1s. I actually designed 2 pairs of Air Max 1s, but only purchased one of them because we know that the Nike ID price is way up there compared to the normal shoe. But the fact that I had a array of different materials you could use, the color options and everything, like as far as I was concerned, I designed one of the greatest Air Max 1s of all time.
Yeah, he had some dope ass colorways he designed.
And like it was to celebrate my birthday. So, I bought them. I got them in the crib and made sure to get a size that both me and my brother could wear because the Air Max, if I'm being honest, the reason why I love the Air Max 1 as much as I do is because it's my brother's favorite shoe of all time. Like the University Red Air Max 1 is his favorite shoe that's like ever been created. It's a classic. And so to design an Air Max 1, have all of these options through Nike ID because it was Nike ID at the time. They don't even call it that anymore.
Right.
And it really is just disappointing now because you're like, oh, they're like, oh, you can log in, you can design an Air Max 1 now. And you're like, oh, cool. And you go to check and it's like all the materials suck. The color options suck. And it's like, come on, man.
They some haters. They some haters. Let me tell you who has the best customized shoe out there, Vans. Vans don't give. They let you do whatever you want. You can put that leopard print against camouflage, whatever you want. Vans will create whatever you want. They don't care. That's why
New Balance should have a nice one too, though.
You said New Balance.
Yeah, New Balance should have a nice one. They don't do it no more though, but he should have a nice one.
But yeah, man, look, this is Black in the Day. Stuff that we missed. Maybe we'll get back to it one day. Maybe Nike hear our cry, which they probably won't. They probably don't give a fuck, really. Right now, it's all about retro. It's all about retros. What new releases dropped that anybody's been excited for?
Someone on this panel has a father who literally has ties to one of the most influential people in sneakers. If anyone's gonna hear the cry, that's all I'm saying.
But they don't have to, bruh. That's why they got rid of all the good designers. You let the dude from Y3, he was with Nike. He's gone.
Yoji
Yeah, he
Yamamoto.
was with Nike at first. I mean, his shoes like $300 to $500. People don't even know that.
Yeah, them Y3 joints is crazy, yo.
Yeah,
Crazy.
you let
Isn't Jerry at Adidas now?
Kanye.
Yeah, Jerry's at Adidas.
Yeah, Dre.
They let him go. Let him walk too. So I don't know.
Like you said,
They don't give you-
Yo, part of Nike's
dopest
problem is
designers.
arrogance, though, son.
Yeah,
Nike's
Phil,
super arrogant,
Phil
bro.
Knight. It's Phil and the crew.
It's I made the hype of the shoe. They're gonna buy my shoe, and you keep your ideas to yourself. But
Yeah,
they're
that's
not
how-
giving us anything new.
Yeah, that's how I feel with Bape, though. Why is Bape doing all these stupid collaborations with random people, bro?
And they all look the same.
Yeah, like those like random collabs for no reason. It don't even make
Bape
sense.
and Reeboks, which didn't, Bape and Reebok, Bape and Adidas had a dope collab.
The
Bape and
superstars
Adidas
that they
was
did,
dope.
I love those. I got me a pair of those. Those joints were
Yeah,
sick.
they
The
come
recent
out, they
ones,
doing,
the
yeah,
new
they
ones.
doing,
NMD joints.
they doing random joints with like people that don't even matter. Like, they got Bape and Coach. Like, why y'all doing this? It's stupid.
I don't.
What's the one they released today? Adidas and
Gucci.
Gucci, yeah, they hit me. Yeah,
Yeah, they got me. I'm on it.
Yeah.
They got
I
me.
like
and
that.
they had
I
done.
just want to see
I
what
didn't like
it
the
is.
product
They
though.
did
I didn't like the
Prada.
product. The product was like $550.
right.
Those
what's
were astronomically priced.
the first person I seen rocking them was Westside. Westside had a coat. He had the Adidas and Gucci coat.
Oh
and,
yeah,
and a pair of shoes. And he was like, the dude asked him, "How can I get a pair of those?" He's like, "You ain't got enough money."
It's a super stunning. God,
so them Gucci Jones could be like $550. That's what they telling me, most likely.
I'm good. I'm
not
good
gonna
with
be
that.
able to do it.
That was smart on Gucci part, but
I mean, if I have $550 to spend on a pair of sneakers, like there's
I'm
so
gonna
many
get me-
joints
yeah.
on the
Yeah,
list
yeah,
that
yeah.
you
I
know.
will get my Kobe before I do that. Like,
yeah, I
I'm
did
gonna
it
get
one
those-
time, bro. I was feeling froggy, and I wore them. I bought them in 2018, 19. I might have worn 'em once a year.
I'm going to get those Freddy Krueger Air Maxes. And then I'm
The
gonna go get me
95s.
Go get me the Big Bang joints.
yeah,
That's it.
it's a few girls I'd rather get.
It's a bunch I buy for $550.
I mean, that's the thing. There are so many joints that are
nah,
hot
that's a racket shit.
for
Yo, it's
$550.
I would get my black and white dunks for that shit. Fuck yeah, I might pay the resale for that.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff I get for $550.
I'm getting the Dunkins. That's what
Yeah, I
was
would
doing.
try to get those too.
There you go.
Yeah.
And now cold ass picture of Clyde Frazier.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm about to go get that outfit, son. God damn, Clyde killing it.
Hey.
Boy.
How much for that chain?
Right.
Right. Nah, so real quick. So this might be something that can spark the next episode. But why do you think they don't do the re-release on like I just put in the chat, them Galaxies just hit a
Mhm.
milestone.
Right.
How do you not capitalize on a shoe of that magnitude, but also on if you're a person of like a year, you know what I mean? Like, 10 years, 15 years, 20, like how do you not capitalize and even if it's don't give us a fucking shock drop of some sixes UNCs that are totally trash and you wanted 210 for them hoes.
Yeah, I think it was like
200
yeah.
That was
period.
220, wasn't it? It was 220.
But then rightfully so, got a pair of the female ones or the women's version that's a
Yeah.
doper colorway that I'm
Yep.
way more
Yep.
checking for than them UNC ones. But then you're not even gonna even what was that? You didn't even pinch a bitch to be like the Galaxies is coming out.
And you know what's smart? You could have ushered in the phone positive movement because you had the Como de Song, which is dropping in price.
Yeah, I was
You
just
could
about
have
to say,
because
I
ushered
was,
in.
I was
450
just
is
on go and I saw
ridiculous.
that.
Oh,
Yo, the
they
price
dropping.
dropping.
Yeah, they dropping. That could have ushered it in, and boom, would have been on it. Because
Even
they
if
don't.
they only released them around here, like in
Galaxy Pop
DC.
Oh, they
was
still sell out like crazy.
dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't even know
Galaxy
that.
Pop
I didn't even know they came out, bro. They
I only
just did.
saw one person ever wearing them. He worked at a Foot Locker because I never seen nobody on feet ever.
Yeah.
They were part of the whole All-Star release with the Big Bangs and
Yeah.
the Kyrie, the KDs that year and the Kobe's.
Yeah, I will come
I
out with the
remember seeing-
Supreme version.
I was just
I
about.
will
I
come
was
out
gonna
with
say the Supreme
those.
joint. Yeah.
Wale had them all. That's the only person I've seen on TV. But they had a great opportunity to bring that back.
Yep.
Yeah, they still bullshitting on them
Oh,
silver
you
phone
see, you
posits.
some composites and right here.
Yep.
Look, let's show some sneakers and let's get up out of here. I'll lead it off. Classic Nike box. We're celebrating Black History Month. I was digging, and the first pair that came up that I found that I didn't have to dig too much through. I don't know why I was on these so hard, but these are the LeBron Black History Month. These are the
I remember them
lifestyle joints.
Yeah. The joint shiny as shit, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, they gold. They solid gold.
Damn.
Well, they ain't real, but they gold. And this joint got the gold.
Yeah,
aglets.
shut up, yo.
Yeah,
He's stupid as shit. Man. You should have seen his face when he said they solid gold. He was like,
Not, they all gold around. Not like pure gold.
Yeah,
Trinidad James like shit, yeah.
Yo, Trinidad James.
Hey, the
He's-
homework dress is tough though, son.
Those are tough.
Yeah,
those are
fuck with them
tough.
joints hard.
Get 'em.
Both colorways. I fuck with both colorways.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I might end up copping one of those, honestly, because I think I
want to
fuck
get
with
the black
Saucony's.
ones.
I fuck with those. So, these are off the beaten path, but Keto Wears does customs, and you'll have to look it up. But they did a Passion of the Christ, and these are the Passion of the Christ Resurrections. They look like dunks.
Wow.
Damn.
Oh,
So obviously, you see the imagery.
wow.
Crown of thorns going around.
That's
So
tough.
and
You
I
gotta
mean,
play-
check out
you gotta
this
play-
tongue. You know what I mean? Like,
Yo.
You gotta play
like the-
Jesus Walks when you wear those.
I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if I wear these, Kanye might knock on the door. Like, But these joints. So what's crazy about these is, I was hip to Keto Wears doing the drop, and I missed the initial drop or something, but then I got an email that they were doing a shock drop, and I was just given like 15 minutes to log in, and if I wanted to make a purchase, I could make a purchase. So I do that. These joints showed up like 4 months later. Like, I almost forgot about the fact that like I bought these things. But I mean, these joints are crazy. Like, I mean, these joints are pretty fire as far as I'm concerned. So
Dope.
Nah, those
had to bust these out.
Be easy. You got something?
I sure do. Since it's Black History Month.
Ooh.
Now, I did pay a pretty penny for these.
Yo. Whew. The
But-
retail joint was pretty penny.
Yo, yeah.
These are
Those are
black.
fire.
I swapped the laces, but it came with 3 pairs of laces.
Those
These right
laces-
here
That's a
are hard as hell to get off.
Yeah. And get on.
They get on. So if you put these on, you're going somewhere and you're going to keep them on for a long time. I feel like back in the day how your mom used to get you to come take off her boot. That's how you get this off. But
Yep.
you got
It's
the
the same thing
3M
with
hits.
the raids.
Yeah,
Huh?
yo.
Oh yeah, so I'm about to get those. So I got a little consignment shop. I've got my eye on.
Mm.
But yeah, hits the
Those are
3M on here.
Yeah,
Yep.
them joints hard.
Yeah,
They let them walk out the door.
Shout out to
that was a game changing design too. Yeah,
They let them walk out the door, and I don't know if you see, I got the moccasins too,
Yep.
but I never wore either one. I never wore any one of these, but yeah,
those are dope.
These are fly, man. I ain't know what to wear with them, but when you go out,
I can.
You build the entire outfit around those.
Yeah, your entire outfit goes with that joint.
Yeah, look at the design, man. Like
Ain't nobody else looking at nothing else but those. Yeah, them joints are dope.
Nah, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Get you a
the
mean
3M hits. You didn't even
joint,
expect
man.
3M in these because they all black. But you let somebody design like this to walk out the door. I don't know what to tell you.
That's
arrogance, man. Arrogance.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
So the theme is threes today.
Okay.
So
I know where you're going.
I had to take a trip.
Yes.
So yeah, I had to go all the way to Cambridge, Maryland.
Damn. Oh, that's what you want them at?
Yeah, man. I put I didn't think I was gonna win, but yeah, somehow I won in Cambridge. And look, when I got down there, the lady was like, she was like, yeah. She said it was like 3 people came across the bridge to get these. I was like, well, make that 4 because I came across the bridge too.
Hey, now I know what to put in that though. Whoop.
That's a nice drive though. Hey, look, you felt good all the way going down, all the way coming back.
Man, but look, here's the thing. I found 2 founds that day. I found some Buffalo Trace, some hard to find liquor.
Yep.
I went to a random liquor store. I was like, yeah, you gotta go to the random liquor stores that nobody thinking about. Went in there, the dude was like, man, I got some in the back. I was like, lucky day, bro. I got Buffalo Trace of these, bro. It was a good day, bro. And so, like, when we talk about traveling or whatever, I made a day of it, right? So I went to a brewery. I went to a little cafe that had some good seafood. I just stood out there all day, bro. I had a good time in Cambridge, Maryland, son.
That's what you got to do, man. When you're making a trip that's that long, like, that's the way to do it.
You can fish off that bridge.
Yeah, man. And then, and then the thing with threes, like threes are my all-time favorite joint. You know me, man. I love threes. That's my all-time favorite one, so.
Those are dope. Hey, I was gonna say, as you say, random stores to get what you're looking for. You gotta go like the random gas stations, find those butter crunch cookies.
I had one of them drinks for years, dog.
You go to random gas station.
Yeah, dog, I had a butter crunch in like 15 years at least, bro.
The cookies was butter crunch.
I like that shirt, bro. I like that shirt.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
You know how E-Rich does it.
Right, y'all see I switched up the name today, the old football name on the back of the jersey.
Yo.
I'm trying to think, should I go poor man or should I go like that W that just kind of that you was always looking for?
I mean, you could always do you could hit us with the double. You know what I mean?
Yeah, go ahead. It's Black History Month.
Yeah.
So shout. All right. So I again, you know me. I'm the resident guy. That's just the new. I'm the new guy, right? But I'm the new guy that's gonna show like the beat ups, right? Shout out to all the cutting grass shoes, right? Because I cut grass in these right here, the 6s, the lows at that, right? Because people are definitely not rocking these on a regular basis. I copped these joints just because they was like the Seattle colors, and they was just good to fuck up anyway because there was green on them. But since we gonna, you know, everybody's bringing out the massive heats. We're gonna go here.
I love that box.
Yeah, anytime you see that box, it's about to be a problem.
Yeah.
These were definitely these were a top. These are one of the ones that I was just gonna pull the trigger on anyway.
Yes.
And about that trip that we was talking about taking, you damn well
Hawaii joints
that I'm definitely gonna be sitting there with these on in the location where we all need to be.
Are we going to Hawaii? Yo, I need to know this because I might have a trip in May. I need to know, son. I might cancel my one in May if we're going to Hawaii, son.
They hit you with the different color strings and of course, right. The orange is gonna be is definitely what I'm gonna throw in there. But I think I'm gonna wait until when they change colors to throw the orange on there though. And then I'm gonna hit them with the orange. So yeah, definitely
rocking all kinds of like linen and floral patterns all day with them.
Oh yeah, relax. Yeah.
Yo. I'm gonna have my shirt open for no reason, son.
Yeah.
Oh man. Look. Look, dope episode, everybody. I'm glad we made it. Black History Month episode. Before we go, I meant to do this beginning of the show, but this is how we're gonna close out. We want to say, look, thoughts and prayers go out to Superfly, who lost his father. So look, Superfly, a member of the family. I think everybody in this room has at least had some kind of interaction with Superfly, one way or another. But look, brother, thoughts and prayers for you, and we're thinking about you. Take a sip for you and your pops and your fam. All right, y'all. Peace.